Welcome back. So I did a little bit off camera. I went and got a few stacks of cobblestone, a few stacks of cobbled deep slate, some oak, and I leveled out some terrain here. So let's keep going on the melon and pumpkin farm to start with. So I'm going to have pistons in each of these squares. And I'm going to do another one over here. So if this is going to be here, so that would be the start. Oops, need a shovel. Need a shovel. I've got some cobblestone to stick in the middle there. Grab a little bit more though. I've got a little bit of wood on me. Just turn that into planks. And shovel. Okay, so this one will come down and it's going to be offset by 1. Which means I want to get the water in there. Now we can hoe these fields, so okay, and then more pistons. So we're going to be pushing this way on these. Okay. Put some cobble in between. Oh. Yeah, it's fine. Get the cobble in here. Okay. Do we want... Yeah, it doesn't matter. Now I'm going to want to put something down the middle. I've got 10 coal, that's something. But let's get that cooking. So what I'm wanting to do, I'm wanting to get some copper bars in here. Oh, that goes fast. And then we'll put the copper bars right down the middle of the water stream. So this means that when the pumpkin or melon gets pushed, that it's going to get pushed up against this, and then fall into the water. I think I actually want to make it too high. Not sure that I need to, but I think it does have a chance of sitting on top of the bars if it's only one block high. And I don't want to lose them. I don't have to. Yeah, that is more than half a stack. Oops. Okay, so let's start getting some redstone in here. So we're going to have some redstone lines, but we're going to need to get a few pieces going on. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. I think 5 hoppers probably. Oh. 5. We need make some redstone torches, and we need to make 2 no. I think we need 5. So more torches. Sure. Five, I think 5. And let's just make 4 of those. So we will need more stone for stuff like that. So let's get that cooking. So sleep. I'm still doing a little bit of thinking here. So I'm going to need a dropper. Okay. How much redstone do I have? 18. That's not nearly enough. Alright, let's run back and get some more redstone. There's not too much that I still need to grab from world spawn. Okay. So we're grabbing the redstone. Anything else we need? Not really. We'll bring the gold. Just cuz. Just cuz. So I'm going to make a clock that I make fairly often. Oh. No, I have enough leather. I have enough leather here. A clock that I make fairly often, it uses 2 hoppers pointed into one another. And pushes the signal back quite slowly, which is what we want. We don't want these things to be firing off very often. But I don't want to use observers to do it. I just want it to fire off in a regular interval. And I shouldn't have to worry about lag. This is a pretty small farm, but even still, it's just a good practice to be prepared for lag. So let's get stuff in the ground. Better to do that sooner than later. Just ditch that stuff. Don't need that anymore. So, first off, get those. See what that looks like. 16 and 16. Actually, I think that's enough. So let's go melons over here. And we don't want to do melons on this side because that would make these hoppers way more full than those ones. I wonder, I'm thinking about how to deal with the storage. Like that's going to be a hopper pointed down. I could take it out by minecart. That actually might not be a bad idea. I'll kind of think about that. Did I get to the end? I did. So those are 3 lines of redstone. That's going to have a signal going into it. I want to put the signal into a regular block. So let's do that. Now, the signal. Let's just, even just a little bit of delay between them. Nah, why not? No, I want to keep this. Yeah. Unless I don't have one there. Put that on 1 tick, and then that's on 3 ticks. And I think that should be good. So let's run some redstone across. Yeah. Now we want to fire a pulse of redstone as opposed to having an extended source of redstone. Oh wait, I still have to get those in the ground. Oh, I have to get them both in the ground. So melons, pumpkins. So let's do pumpkins over here. Or sorry, melons over here. And pumpkins over here. And we could bone meal them right now. There's no harm in it, right? We don't need nearly that much. Okay. Whichever. Close enough. So the next thing that I want to do, let's bring that over one more. And this is going to be coming out of there. So we want a dropper firing into a hopper. Oh wait, no, that's not going to work because I want that signal to be at full strength. and a hopper pointed into that. So what's going to happen is there's going to be an item in the dropper, and the dropper, when a signal goes into it, now we don't want to lock the hopper when we power the dropper, which means the signal wants to go into a block. It doesn't need to be full strength or anything like that. So the signal goes into the dropper fires it into the hopper, which gets detected and sends a signal, and the item flows back into the dropper. So a signal goes into there, and that signal comes from my clock. Which will point in this direction. So this signal is going to come off of a redstone block. Let's put that here. Okay, that fires them all off. So there is going to be some amount of loss of items for them just not falling off, which is just something we'll have to deal with. So this redstone block is going to get pushed back and forth, and we'll put it over here. So the comparator is going to compare this signal here. Let's get this stuff out of the way. And the signal that it's going to be comparing is going to come from an item frame. So we'll put 2 item frames on here, and I believe 3. So that is going to represent a signal strength, a particular signal strength anyway. So this signal comes out of there. I'm going to need 2 pistons. I'm going to need a sleep. Yeah, anytime here. Okay. So let's make a couple pistons. We got the cobblestone. We got the redstone. Must be planks. So the redstone block wants to be pushed back and forth like this. The signal that comes out of here goes into the piston. So we need to have a particular number of items, in here in order to push that block. Let's find some items. Dirt's probably good. So the signal doesn't fire until there's the right number of items. The right number of items is more than half a stack. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, I think I have 1 extra in there, which I don't think really matters. It slows the clock down ever so slightly, but I could just drop 1 and see what happens. There. So there's the exact right number of items in there. 46. So 46 items represents a signal strength equal to the output from these item frames. So that's the speed that I want the clock to run. So every time it comes back around, this redstone just fires once because of that signal. Okay, so that's all working right. I'm going to need one more hopper. What am I looking at here? I have to cook iron. Yep. I killed an enderman, so I have one ender pearl, which is going to be really nice in the nether. Let's go and start a tree farm while that's happening. I think I'm just going to tree farm over here. Okay. So that's going. Thinking about trains here. So if I want to get those items out of there, I could just bring them along sideways. Because I can get a single water stream to go that far. So why don't I do that? Oh, they are offset by a block. Just kind of thinking about the best way to do this here. Because, okay, I've got some extras there. I'm wanting to make a trapdoor. Ooh, I can dump some of this stuff. Whichever. So why don't I put the hopper in there? Oh, because I was thinking about just dropping it down a hole. Okay, let's try that. Come on. So the items will just, the items will just fall down the hole. And from there, I'll push them into a water stream. I have a full water bucket? I don't. Do I make an infinite water source? No. That would just be too smart. Okay. So this would be a water stream. I could put it in there, have it flow out to here, and then make that a hopper, and I'll put a chest in here. Let's make 2 double chests. I already had one, which needs to be a hopper, right? Do I care that the water spills over there? Not really. Okay. That's not terrible. That gives me enough storage, and it's easy enough to access. So need a full water bucket though. All right. Yeah, because it has to flow over. So that puts it down there. So we need another hopper. Okay. Yeah. And I guess I could put bars over here to keep the water from flowing. I guess I don't need it over here, do I? Okay, I like that. I like that. Let's put, I don't know, that over there. Maybe I'll put more trapdoors on there, just so that people don't fall in or whatever. Yeah. Okay. And let's actually just close that in. So why is nothing in there? You would think that these guys would have fired off. Nope, this doesn't work because that's too far. So we do need a repeater there. And I don't have enough stone. No, I made more stone. Okay. Yeah, that needs to have a repeater. But the idea would be to change the duration of the signals so that these all fire in a cascade instead of firing all at once. Yeah, see, I do want the second level of copper bars there. Do I still have copper? I don't still have copper. No. It was here? It was here. That should be lots. Oops. Let's do it like that. Now we don't want stuff to be climbing around on here. So let's fence it in. Oh, I have the stone walls on me. Just in case I need more. So, I don't know, let's just put it around here. Ignore the redstone for now. Yeah, of course, Carl. Don't like that it looks so ugly, but at least nothing can jump over it. Alrighty. So let's go up to there. I don't know. I still have some walls, so let's just wall this stuff in. Yep. There, because it's farmland, so things jumping on it is going to be a problem. So, yeah, there's going to be some amount of loss. There's no two ways about that. I wish there was less loss, though. No pumpkins yet? So this is the part of Minecraft where you just kind of stare at stuff. Always fun. Okay, well, we got some pumpkins. So let's just let this thing go, see how it does. That's only one of the things that we want to do. So, farmer villagers, pumpkins and melons, I mean, we put zero effort into that. It's purely AFK and it gives us good emeralds. We also want books for emeralds. So we're going to want to have a wheat farm and some cows. So let's start on the wheat farm here. Let's just put it in the ground. There's no harm in that. So to start off with, I don't know, maybe here. Yeah. Okay. Now what if I was to flush that? I'm kind of overcomplicating it, but I kind of like overcomplicating things, so that's just the way it goes. So if I do a second wheat field over here, then it's huge. One, two, three, four. Okay. Okay, that's a pretty big wheat field. So let's make a flushing system, and the flushing system is going to require that we have 18 pistons. Six. Ooh. So what if he gives me 21? That's fine. And we're gonna want some gravel. But we don't have any gravel. Or sand. Let's grab some sand. Alright, fine. We got 18? Yep. Full inventory, hey? Okay, so the idea here is that there wants to be a gravel block standing here. So this is going to be 2 blocks down. Okay. And then we'll put sand on top of all those. Okay. Do the same thing over here. Knew that was coming. Actually, let's dump some stuff. What can we dump? Close enough. That was a pickaxe that I lost, so there we go. Okie dokie. And then we need to get redstone under there. Now, I remember this being a challenge because the redstone doesn't want to go into the pistons. And I don't really want to put repeaters all the way along there. So I guess I go with target blocks, although all the stuff is back over there. Do I do repeaters? That's a lot of repeaters. Maybe. Definite maybe. Because it's kind of along the lines of if that's what it takes. Yeah, no, I'm fairly confident that it's just not going to work if I don't put repeaters in. So that's 5. We're going to need a bunch more torches. Sure. That gives us 5 more. And we're going to want to put the circuitry on this side, sure. So the basic gist of the thing is that powers that. We'd rather use cobble. So around here, we go like this. That's not going to work. So like that. And then we're going to fill that up with water. So I guess we're going to get our infinite water source going. Actually, let's just do that. Okay, and then collection, we'll put collection over here so that they're both on the same side, which means we'll put that there. So then that's going to be, again, like hopper in a chest. Yeah. Hopper in a double chest. Okay. So we're going to need the rest of the repeaters. 6, 7, we need 2 more. So 6 stone, 3 more stone. Three more stone. Actually, let's just stop that. And we're going to want to have some more stone walls. Okay. So same theory applies. That's going to go on that side. Nope. Something like that. So these need to be punched out. I didn't make the last 2. What? Give me the dirt. Okay, make the last 2. And then kind of sort of like that. Get the stone in here. Just 3 pieces short, hey? Whoa. Oh my Lanta. Okay. Okay. So we want to fill this up with water. Okay. So there wants to be a fence around all of this. So the fence is going to be coming in here. Yeah, I guess. And then, quite honestly, I wouldn't mind having full blocks there instead of fences. I'm just going to use dirt for now. Smart is good. Smart we don't do. And partly this is just to test it out. Do I still have? Yeah, I still have some of those. Oops. Now we are going to want to put a door in here, and I think we're going to put the door there. And I don't have trapdoors. Yeah, we'll put the door there. Okay, and that's just going to keep stuff out. So let's put the redstone over here, which means, well, let's get some slabs in there. Rip. In there. Almost think I should actually put the door on the other side. Let's put the door on the other side. Okay, but then the redstone. Could we put the redstone around this side too? I mean, we could. Or is that going to be bad? No, because the collection's over here, so that'd be ugly. So put it down here. Put it right at the corner. Right. We'll put a lever on here. Oh, that doesn't work. Oh, right. I should have done that another level up. That's all just kind of bad news. I'm trying to think about how I can mitigate that. Nope, that's just poor design. Because the field itself is 9 blocks, the field only wants to be 8 blocks. So I'll tear this stuff up. Yeah, anyway, I'll tear it up off camera and peel it back. But the idea is that the water's held back here, and it's going to cascade over. It's going to cascade over by 8 blocks, so the field's going to be 1 block shorter, but also this stuff wants to be 1 block higher, so that I get the full extent of the water cascading. Okay, I'm out of here. Okay, so I'm gonna break it here, but I'm going to finish off the wheat farm. I'll finish it off camera, and let's check out and see how these are doing. So yeah, that's moving along. Doing what it's supposed to do. I really don't like the amount of loss though. So I might have to think about how I could maybe do that better. Which square is that pushing it into? Oh, it's pushing it. See, there's just nothing I could do about that. If it's going to push it into the square where the melon was, it's just going to be a loss. So there's going to be some amount of losses. I shouldn't worry too much about it. But over time, that's going to produce a bunch of pumpkins and melons without me doing anything. And then wheat farm, cows, we'll do a sugarcane farm. Yeah, so then we'll get some villagers going. We'll do some farmer villagers, and we'll do some librarian villagers. And I'm not really going to worry about too much else. I'm not going to build an iron farm over here or anything like that. But we'll finish off the farms, finish off the house, and keep motoring. Cheers.